So the right wing is still melting down about the primary win of Zoran Mamdani in New York. And I wanted to go over a Marjorie Taylor Greene interview with Tucker Carlson because these are two of the biggest grifters online. No values, just pure hatred. So let's get straight into the video.
A second ago that when people are really frustrated when the system they live under fails them, they listen to voices that they shouldn't listen to or wouldn't listen to under any other circumstance. Like, how did Al Sharpton get to be the leader of Black America or whatever? I mean, it's like it's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Desperate people tend to go to crappy leaders, I think. And I just can't get over what happened in our biggest city this week. There's
an element of truth to that. You know, Trump is a crappy leader by any measure. If you were to look at it objectively, I mean, what did he actually bring in the first term? What's he doing now? His polls are just plummeting.
Very same week that everybody in D.C. is focused thousands of miles away on the greatest threat we face, Iran's nuclear program. I don't want Iran to have the bomb. I'm not pro-Iran,
no,
obviously.
We're not pro-Iran.
Yeah.
Like, why do we have to say it?
No,
but
right.
We do.
It's dumb. But at the same time that everybody was looking to Iran, our largest city had a Democratic primary, effectively the mayor's race, and like 32-year-old socialist who wants government-run grocery stores gets elected. He's going to likely run our biggest city.
Yeah.
And in the country.
Right. New York.
And it's like, why did that happen? Is it because people...
What does that mean, New York? What's anti-Semite Marjorie Taylor Greene hinting at there?
People are so like desperate for government-run grocery stores or love socialism or love like foreign-born midwits running their cities? Probably not.
Mm-mm.
That guy was the only person in the New York City mayor's debate to say he wanted to focus on New York City. All the candidates were asked, if you could visit a foreign country, what would it be? And they, of course, all had an answer. I think most said Israel. Great. And he said, I wouldn't go anywhere. I'd stay in New York. And like, if I want to meet Jewish constituents, I'd go to their synagogues, their homes or whatever, but I'd be here in New York because that's what I'm doing. I'm running New York. That's my job.
I would stay in New York City. My plans are to address New Yorkers across the 5 boroughs and focus on that.
Mr. Mamdani, can I just jump in? Would you visit Israel as mayor?
I've said in a UJA
Such a strange question.
questionnaire that I believe that you need not travel to Israel to stand up for Jewish New Yorkers. And that is what I will be doing as the mayor. I'll be standing up for Jewish New Yorkers, and I'll be meeting them wherever they are across the 5 boroughs, whether that's in their synagogues and temples or at their homes or at the subway platform.
Well, he gave the right answer.
He gave the right answer. He gave the right answer, at least. And he's talking, I totally oppose his program, just
Absolutely.
to be clear. I don't think it works. But
you haven't seen yet. And what happens if it does work? What will they say then? I mean, they just obviously ignore reality, like fascists do.
He's talking about economics.
Yep.
And everyone else is talking about foreign policy. Why is it hard to talk about economics, domestic economics?
I don't know. Apparently they don't know how to fix it. Well, look who he was running against.
Yeah, because this is so disingenuous. They don't care. Donald Trump won't lower grocery prices. He won't make it easier to buy a house or afford rent. Like, why are they pretending? Like, they don't care about this. They're wealthy people. Why would they, it's weird.
Yes. He's looking, I mean, the failed mayor, Andrew Cuomo, look at him. He was governor, yeah. Discussing sexual, all types of accusations.
Yeah.
What about Trump? Epstein? No? Okay. It's okay when Trump does it. Great. Consistent. You always get consistency from conservatives. At least that's the case.
So he was seen as the dirty establishment Democrat, right?
Machine politician.
Right. That really never solved anyone's problems. They already had him, and they still have the same problems.
Right.
They're still poor. They can't afford life. They can't afford to move up in the world.
Exactly.
And so they looked at Andrew Cuomo and was like, why am I going to vote for him? He's not going to make my life better.
No, it's totally
And so
right.
they look at this man who's been in our country for 6 years?
Yeah.
6 years.
Since
So he's
7.
foreign born. He's a socialist, and he's promising to empty the prisons and do all kinds of crazy things. And he's talking to them on their level and talking.
What crazy things? Increase the minimum wage to $30 an hour, free childcare under 5-year-olds, rent caps. free buses, not really that crazy. Like, these are things that New York can afford. These aren't crazy things. These aren't crazy.
Talking about the problems they are facing, relating to them with the problems they're facing. So these young people have no choice but to turn to this.
I agree.
And it is a failure. It is literally a failure of the Republican Party. I think the Republican Party has completely failed. And it makes me so angry, Tucker. And I can't, I'm not supposed to speak out, right? I'm not supposed to have my own opinion. I'm supposed to just have blind allegiance to my party. And
That is true. It's interesting she admits that, because usually MAGA heads do. They just, like Charlie Kirk the other day, when Trump wasn't going to bomb Iran. And then he is, and he just toes the line. Like, these people don't think. They're in a cult. But it's interesting she doesn't admit that.
I'm supposed to cheerlead and rah, rah, rah. But that's not why I ran. That's not why I ran for Congress in the first place. I literally ran because I was mad at Republicans.
Yeah.
Well, I'm still mad at Republicans because it is affecting our children's lives and future. And it's our job to hold our elected leaders accountable. It's my job to hold my colleagues accountable. And if we don't fix these problems to the point where young people are turning to crazy socialists, it's going to get worse. It's literally going to get worse, and it'll be gone. I don't think we could ever get it back.
Well, it's just kind of weird because Fox News tells us that the real threats are
Is she really that stupid to believe that Trump is going to increase living standards for average people? Like, she can't believe that, can she? Really?
abroad, or they're Iranian sleeper cells in the United States. It seems to me the real threat to the United States is the collapse of its cities, of its population centers where the most people live. I don't live in a city, don't want to live in a city because they suck.
Yeah.
But in a normal country, I would live in a city, and so would you.
Sure.
Of course. So I don't understand how we spent the last 25 years fighting all these wars, obsessively focused on our enemies abroad, jihadis, or whatever. They're telling us the threat is white supremacists under Biden. And the country has not gotten better.
No.
It's like maintaining the empire has destroyed the republic. It does feel that way. America has thousands of colleges and universities, and a lot of them, unfortunately, are basically just scams. It's one of those things nobody really wants to talk about, but everybody on some level knows that it's true. Refuse to talk about economics, like actual economics, not bullshit economics, GDP and tax cuts, but actually like it's too expensive for my kids to buy a house. What are you doing about that?
Right.
And the answer is absolutely nothing. Other than yelling, you're a socialist. I'm not insecure about being a socialist. I don't really care what people call me, but that is a much bigger problem than anything Iran is cooking up in its centrifuges, as far as I'm concerned. Certainly a bigger problem for everyone I know. My kids can't buy a house. Therefore, they can't get married and have kids.
Right. So
she's like, what? Why are we talking about real issues that you know that we can't solve? We don't care. We're wealthy. Like, you're wealthy, Tucker. Buy your kids a house. Like, so strange. Like, why pretend to care about this stuff? They obviously don't. Like, they never talk about this otherwise. Like, but now Mamdani's talking about it. It's like, oh yeah, we're real populists too. We come on, no one buys this bullshit. Just why?
think about this. Last week, our kids were just thinking about, I can't afford to buy a house. Where am I going to get a good job? All my friends can't find a good job. A lot of young women that are conservative are like, where am I going to find a good man? A lot of conservative young.
So strange. It's so strange. They're really panicking. This is a real reaction of panic. Like, oh my God, we've actually got to pretend to care about these things now because socialism will come to America. It's pathetic. It's strange, weird, pathetic.
Men are like, where can I find a decent young woman to marry? Because many of them are insane, have turned leftward, so far left.
Yeah. Right.
So last week,
37 sexual partners, which, sorry, people just aren't into it. You know, who's into that? It's
not
people who aren't insecure, who aren't afraid of a woman who has experience, who, you know, they just don't want that virgin because they're scared that a man with a bigger penis has had sex with their woman. That's fascism. Like, fascists are so scared of an experienced woman who knows what they're doing. God forbid.
Not I. So there's all the, but think about it. Last week, they were thinking about all their other problems that they already have, but they weren't thinking about, do I have to worry about a terrorist attack happening here in the United States?
Yeah.
Fast forward to this week, now it's like, oh my gosh, not only is life unaffordable and all these unknowns and all these problems I have and my credit card debt is,
Well, why aren't you talking about Trump? Trump is in power right now. Why aren't you talking about what Trump can do? Because he's raising living prices with tariffs. He's increasing the deficit through this big, beautiful bill that's going to cut Medicaid, food stamps, which a lot of Americans really rely on. And the grocery prices aren't going down. Talk about that. Who's in power? But they will never talk about it because they don't give a fucking shit. Why they pretend? Like, why? No one believes it. Like, if you believe anything they're saying right now, you're fucking stupid.
my credit cards are maxed out and I can't go on vacation and I want to go with my friends and I want to go to this concert, but I can't afford it. But now they have to think about, oh, if I do go to that concert, there could be a terrorist attack because we bombed Iran. It's like a whole nother set of problems.
Yeah.
And so, of course, when this
Even Tucker's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
guy that's running for mayor of New York City, iconic New York City, is talking to New Yorkers, and he says on the debate stage, when he's asked, what foreign country do you want to go visit? And the rest of them are saying Israel. And he says, I don't want to go. I just want to stay here in New York. Of course, they're going to listen to him.
Yeah, I listen to him, and I don't want to be mayor of New York at all. I think it's so important that someone responsible and reasonable and American runs New York. But I guess in general, I just resent...
American, he means white there, just to be clear. Like, Tucker Carlson is a white nationalist, a white supremacist, like, just to be clear.
I resent importing foreign conflicts into our country, ancient race hatreds, religious, ethnic hatreds. What does that have to do with us? And I feel like we've definitely wholesale imported that. I get texts all the time from, some people I like, but, Pakistani, Indian, Bangladeshi telling me about some fight in US or Canada between different Muslim or Hindu groups. And I'm not against any of them. I like them all. I'm not.
Sure.
But what does that have to do with North America?
Nothing.
So why did we...
The fact you have to say that, it's like Charlie Kirk the other day, this virtue signaling of like, oh, my, my doctor, my gynecologist is Muslim. I've got nothing against Muslims. It's so pathetic. It's like, we don't believe anything you say, Charlie, Tucker. We know what you believe.
Other countries don't put up with that. You try that in the UAE.
Yeah.
This happened. You're some Pakistani worker building office buildings in the Gulf, and you have a march through downtown Abu Dhabi saying, I'm mad at India. They're like, you're out on the first flight.
Right.
Back to Lahore.
Burning their flag.
Yeah, nothing personal.
Yeah. If you're out there burning their Indian flag, I'd love to see what happens to you. Yeah.
Well, the attitude of the Emirati government is,
don't they want to imprison people for a year for burning the flag, which is protected under the First Amendment? Like, come on. Why so dishonest? It's like, oh, it drives you crazy.
that has nothing to do. Don't bring that shit here.
Right.
Even if we're on your side. I mean, you know what I mean?
Right. Yes. 100%.
Yeah.
But okay.
What the fuck are they talking about? They're just saying nothing now. It's like, okay, we'll talk about the problems then, like housing crisis, affordability crisis. Talk about that. Why isn't Trump dealing with it? They will never talk about it because they don't care. It's really that simple.
So in Congress, we have, I think it's 32 members of Congress are foreign born, not born in the United States.
Oh my God, that's so scary. What, born in another pot? So you've got the planet and then America's here and then they're born just over there. And that matters why? Please tell me why there's a logical argument there that isn't just tribal emotion.
Really?
32. I serve with them. 32.
Well, I was surprised to learn that Ted Cruz is not American. He's like a secret Canadian.
He's from Canada, not Texas.
Oh.
Yeah.
So Canada, does it border Texas?
I don't think so. Not on the map I saw.
Okay.
Oh my God. Truly insane. They are terrified of the power of Mamdani, the power of actually addressing people's problems, the power of not being a white supremacist. It's a powerful thing. It really unites people. See you in the next video.